There will be a voice telling you that you'll be wasting your time and wasting your energy and wasting your effort. I say don't listen to it. Listen to that still small voice that says, I can do something, and I ought to do it. We ought to do it. Disraeli said this, nothing can resist the will of a people that will stake even their existence on the extent of their purpose for good. I strongly believe that all of us have some work to do, that each one of us showed up to do something, that each one of us showed up to contribute something to life, and that if we don't do it, it will not be done.
Don't wait for things to get better. Make things better. Hey guys, it's me again, Douglas, and I wanted to talk to you guys about something today. I wanted to talk to you about initiative. Yeah, an initiative just means seeing something that needs to be done and doing it. And okay, so I walk to school most days, and on the sidewalk on my way to school, there is this big hole in the ground, and it's not just a hole. There's a piece of concrete that came up out of the sidewalk, and it's sort of like on the grass to the side. It's just sitting there waiting to get put back in to fill the hole. And I cannot tell you how many times I have tripped on this hole. So many times, like days and days and days, I'll just walk by, walk, fall down, and every time I'm going to school, almost I'm falling on this hole. I'm putting my foot in the hole, and then I fall in the concrete, and over and over and over again. And I just keep thinking, man, somebody's got to fix that hole. And every time I fall, I'm like, oh, I just get madder and madder. Like, who is going to fix this hole? And then one day it finally just like hit me. It's like, why don't I fix the hole? So I took
few measures. And then the next most relevant predictor is trait conscientiousness, which is not a trait we understand at all. We have no measures of conscientiousness that work. We've got a couple of weak ones, but no measures that really work better than self-report and other report.
Could being meticulous be a good way to explain conscientiousness?
Meticulousness is associated with orderliness, and orderliness is one of the aspects of conscientiousness. But conscientious people, the best way to sum up a conscientious person is that they're very good at keeping contracts with themselves and others. So what a conscientious person will do is, first of all, say that they'll do something. So that's the first thing. Mm-hmm. But then they'll actually do it. Mm-hmm. So they seem to be able to, and they seem to be able to.
That's crucial.
It's crucial it's especially crucial if you're a manager and administrator. It's not so crucial if you're an entrepreneur.
Or if you want to hold yourself to achieving goals.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they tend to be
If you want to work your way up the competence hierarchy, probably a good way to do that is to say, I'm going to do something and do.
In this video, Jordan Peterson talks about the conscientiousness people.
So we've been trying to figure out what makes conscientious people motivated. Because conscientiousness predicts life success. It's like, well, are they interested in what they're doing? No. It's dutifulness. Okay, so why is that a motivator? We're thinking that what the conscientious person wants is not to slide into the disgusting bottom of things. So imagine the hierarchy, okay? Top is pure, bottom is contaminated. Why? Well, I can tell you one reason. If you take a given geographical locale, this is even true for songbirds, and you rank order the denizens of that locale by their dominance position, and then you let a pathogen in, the animals die from the bottom up. Right, so the bottom of the dominance hierarchy is where all the pathogens hang out. And so if that's disgusting and it's morally impure and you're bad if you're down there, which is really a conservative viewpoint in many ways, it's your fault you're there, right? And I'm not going to be there no matter what. And so I think what the conscientious person is doing is fleeing the bottom. They're not trying to get to the top, except that that's the farthest away you can get from the bottom. And that's a purity motivation. Now, we don't know that yet because we haven't been able to figure out how to motivate industrious people in the lab. So, which is weird, right? Because conscientiousness predicts life success. You'd think that you could find a task in the lab that conscientious people would do better than non-conscientious people. We've tried dozens of things and not been able to do it. So now we're trying to make people embarrassed and ashamed and see if we can get them to like donate more to a charity if we do that. Based on the idea that what's motivating the conscientious person is a flight from contamination. It could easily be. So it's quite mind-boggling. Like it was a twist I'd never forecast in my conceptualization of.
When I was growing up, my father hammered home to me the concept of perseverance. His term was called persistence. Stick to it until you finish the job. Perseverance is steadfast in something, despite difficulty, opposition, or the delay of time. I would like to exemplify this particular idea by giving you a couple of stories. The first story I'd like to tell you is about my friend, a boy that I grew up with. At age 7, he contracted polio and was confined to an iron lung. In that iron lung, he spent quite a bit of time. But because of good medical attention and good physical therapy, he eventually began to breathe on his own. Then his legs began to operate, and soon he was able to walk. Then he was able to move his arm. Now I say arm because before he had polio, he was left-handed. Due to the program of polio, which I call a program, I wouldn't probably call it a disease, I guess, but because of that, his left arm never recovered from the polio. So he had to learn everything over with his right. His right arm only regenerated to 60%. He didn't want to be held back in anything he did. So he participated in sports. He participated in anything and everything he possibly could. I played ping pong with him for hours. I won a few, he won most. He played baseball. He'd catch the ball with the glove on his right hand, take the ball, throw it up, pull the glove out, catch the ball, and whip it home. His best event, however, was tennis. In his tennis, he became very proficient. And again, the thing that amazed me is I never beat him. He had a vicious overhand serve. Now, how would he do that? Ball in the racket in one hand, he'd whip it up in the air, bring it back, smash. Well, he went on to get his doctoral degree, became a university professor, did a great job in all aspects, but his claim to fame, I think, was that he passed on his knowledge of the things that he had learned as a tennis player. Persistence. He stayed at his skills until he was able to master them. Something you'll probably want to remember all your lives. I don't know if you know much about Winston Churchill. He was often called the Bulldog of Great Britain. It came time for the speech. Winston Churchill stood at the pulpit. He looked out at his audience, looked at them in the eyes. He took his fist and he said, "Never, never, never give up." And according to Charles Etta, who wrote this article, he then sat down. In just a few words, he delivered a massive message. In the writing of the actual event, he said, "Never give in." But the point is clear. The point is clear that we never give up, that we must be persistent, that we must pursue our dreams. We all have issues. We all have challenges. We all have trials. We all have any kind of difficulty you can imagine. We all are trying to survive these in terms of going through this life and being successful. But perhaps the most difficult task for any of us is to fight the demons within our own hearts and minds. So remember, be persistent, persevere, follow through, don't quit. Thank you.
Hunter, what's going on?
Look at that flooded creek. I'm done for. This is a big problem. I give up.
Wait a minute. Let's talk this through and make sure we understand the problem. Maybe we can come up with a solution.
Well, the problem is that because of all the rain, I can't safely cross the flooded creek and get to school.
Okay, now that we understand the problem, let's see if we can come up with some solutions for getting to school safely.
Let me think. How could I solve this problem and find a way to get to school safely? I've got it! Would you fly me over the creek, Eve?
Hunter, I'd love to, but owls can't fly very well in the rain. I'll have to stay under this tree until it stops.
Oh well, I'm stuck. No use trying.
Problems can be tricky, but you're smart. I know that together we can find a way across that creek.
Okay, let me think some more. Well, that won't work. Maybe. Whoa! What if I fall in? My mom said never to swim in rushing water. Yikes! I don't know what to do, Eve. I give up.
Hunter, don't give up. Keep trying.
Well, there is a brand new bridge up the creek. It's a longer walk to school than usual, but the beavers built it high and sturdy, so I'm sure it's safe and not flooded.
Great job, Hunter. I think you've come up with a good and safe solution.
Thanks, Eve. You're right. I'll head that way.
Great! Since I can't fly very well in this rain, I'll walk with you. Boy, what a bridge! This is a safe way to cross the flooded creek.
Yep, and to think I was ready to give up finding a way to get to school safely. But Eve, you reminded me to make sure I understand my problem. Then to think about different ways I could solve the problem. And finally, to not give up if something doesn't work. Just keep trying.
Reverse brainstorming can lead to some surprising out-of-the-box thinking or unexpected discoveries that can make a real and positive difference. It can literally force people to think differently, making them learn by imagining their failures. So, when you want your team to think out of the box and reveal hidden problems that are not visible in normal circumstances, use reverse brainstorming. Reverse brainstorming is a great tool that can energize a weak brainstorming session and engage participants who feel disempowered or disconnected from the process. It can also be a good way to help your team members step back from the day-to-day experiences and see the process, product, or service from a new and different point of view. So there you have it. Reverse brainstorming is really useful and effective.
Innovation is really about coming up with new ways of doing things and being very open to new ideas.
Really, if you think about the most powerful systems of innovation, those are the ones that grow exponentially. So that people can take those good ideas, combine them into even better ideas, do that over many cycles.
The young man of 20 years of age with this dream that I would create a technology that would have benefit to humanity. I feel my dream has been fulfilled way beyond my wildest expectations.
Take to heart that instead of expecting people to learn to use your thing, you should instead design your thing so that people will just naturally use it.
We can find in nature often engineering solutions that may be able to solve the problems that we're working with. So it's both the fundamentals of how the universe works, but also in engineering how to build stuff.
people will always tell you, oh, it cannot be done. And if you accept that it cannot be done, then you will not make any progress. And so you always have to keep trying and keep trying and keep trying if it doesn't work.
Seeing that whole cycle from beginning when the idea was just a little tiny speck to something that actually gets fully fleshed out makes you feel like you really know what you're doing and really brings a sense of completion to the process.
We had this outsider dream to revolutionize reading.
If we simply liberate the next generation to permit their curiosity to be exercised and encourage them to do new things, that innovation will go on as faster than it's gone now. And so it seems to me the most important thing that adults need to do with young people is not squash their curiosity, to help them to learn how to use it.